Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the America Guns and Freedom podcast with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Today, as always, this is just an open chat between me and my viewers. If you've got any questions you want to ask or topics you want to suggest, go ahead and do it because you all set the agenda for the day. Ask whatever you want to ask. Doesn't have to be gun related. I'll do my best to answer it. If for some reason I can't answer it, well, there's people over here in the live chat. One of them might be able to. Go to one of them, see what they say. Pay attention to the live chat. Don't forget to get involved over there. Chat amongst yourselves. Build some camaraderie. That's what it's there for. And then you can listen to me if you want to. A lot of people think chat's better if you turn the volume off. Well, they still want to look at me, though. So leave the camera on. You still want to look at me. I mean, I'm still pretty. I'm not even that anymore. It's sad. Today's been a sad day. For someone who just got a really good Father's Day present, it's kind of turned into a sad day. And we all know whose fault it is, Peter DeBoner. Although we can't be too hard on him. He does have Lyme disease. But as I was saying, ask whatever you want to ask. I'll try to answer it if I can't. Chat among over there in the live chat. Pay attention to that. I usually start off by reading the names of people who have ordered merchandise. No one has ordered any merchandise today. Oh, no, wait, Johnny Mandrick did. So I can actually push that extra $1 in. He got a Gorilla car magnet. Because I owe an extra $1 on someone I miscounted yesterday. And you have to add $20 when you add money or something like that. And I don't want to add $20 to cover an extra $1. But if you want to buy some merchandise, go on over and get something like the Pete's Grindhouse here. It's Peg Leg Pete. It's a mix-up of Steamboat Willie with Planet Terror. Peg Leg Pete with the rifles on his leg. Like, who was that? Meg McGowan or something. What was her name? But that's what this is. And I got all kinds of merch over there. Go over there and get something. Help support TYMPP. Thanks to Johnny Mandrick for buying something to support TYMPP and making it to where I can add the extra $1 for the Orcana. Well, I'll just be a few dollars over because he only bought a magnet, but it puts it close to $20. So I'm only going to have like an extra $5 in there now instead of putting in 20 to cover one. But if you want to buy merchandise or you want to become a channel supporter, because remember, this is a crap show today. So nobody hold me accountable for today's show. Remember, Peter DeBoner's fault. But as I was saying, if you want to become a channel supporter, you want to buy merchandise, you can go over to my website and I forgot to show Peter DeBoner's thing there. You can go over to TYMPpistolproject.com. You can go over there. You can become a patron by signing up on Patreon, support pets and vets. You can sign up on Subscribe Star, support pets and vets, or TYMPP, depending on which tier you choose. Or you can buy merchandise and support TYMPP. You can also sign up over there to be a beneficiary of TYMPP. If you're in need, if you're a family who would love to be able to exercise Second Amendment rights, protect yourself, but you just can't afford a firearm, you don't own a firearm, and being able to afford one is like next to impossible with the economy the way it is, don't leave yourself undefended. Register for TYMPP. We haven't been getting enough people the last couple of months to even do TYMPP. We barely had enough to do it last month, but I had basically combined 2 months. So go over and register. We need people registering. Unfortunately, nobody will advertise this for us because no one will come on my channel, talk about my channel or anything because I am anathema to the gun community because I don't believe in profit over progress. So I'm not the big channels aren't a fan of me. But like my grandfather always said, if you don't have enemies, you never did anything of importance. All right, let's get started. What was I doing? I was starting. Let's go read the questions. I'm hoping this is all a bad dream and that things ain't going this bad. Let's see. We got Dale Rickety chimed in today, said, I got nothing. He said, I got nothing. He's got something. He's lying. He's lying like a rug. Have you formed an opinion on the Minnesota shootings and its repercussions? I think that rep from Utah needs a psychological evaluation. A lot of the politicians need a psych eval. the only opinions I've formed so far is I don't think it's going to have any much of a blowback on the gun community. I think it's going to be more of people trying to make political hay out of it, of, like the violent right, where he is the violent right. As some people said, oh, he used to be a Democrat. Well, he was registered as a Democrat at one point in his life, but last time he registered as a Republican to vote for Donald Trump. I don't think he's a hardcore right-wing political person. I just think he's a hardcore anti-abortionist. And I think most of this is hinging on abortion, the whole issue of abortion. He's one of those guys, his roommate said he voted for Trump. He supported Trump. All these things, but his number one driving thing in his life was that he was anti-abortion. He was very vocal about it. Plus he was having financial issues and, so I think that made him desperate, but I think this is more of an issue if he went after politicians that vote pro-choice. I think this was a anti-abortion nut job gone off the deep end because of other issues and decided he was going to take out some people that he saw as being pro-choice. And I think that's why they're all Democrats on his list, because those are the pro-choice. Name some pro-choice Republicans. I mean, if in his state, if he had pro-choice Republicans, he probably would have went after them too. I think this is an abortion issue. And I think, an anti-abortion crazy got violent. That's not exactly a new story. So it's not shocking. So that's pretty much the only opinion I've formed so far. I know the right-wing disinformation society is trying hard to make it look like this. He's a lefty. He's definitely not a lefty. There's not a lot of anti-abortion lefties, and there's not a lot of lefties that voted for Donald Trump. So he's just, I would say, I don't categorize him as a political person, period. I categorize him as an anti-abortionist gone off the deep end. And I don't think that's anything new. But yeah, that's about it. That's about all I've developed. John Heasley chimed in and said, for my new stock, my granddaughter spent $110 on stuffed animals today. They're on vacation in Myrtle Beach. Oh, well, she bought stuff at Myrtle Beach. That's because you can find stuffed animals there that you can't find elsewhere. Like, sea turtles with Myrtle Beach written on them and stuff. Souvenirs. Ocean animals that you might not see as much of in other places. So good for her. She's being a good consumer. They're probably all made in China, or Taiwan. Let's hope for Taiwan. I'd rather be Taiwan than China. Or the Philippines. That's better than China. Where was I? And I'm getting that stock almost painted. I've made some progress on today. I'm doing it in the black and white. Black and white definitely won the poll. So got to do what you all asked me to do. Paul Bidenbach paid his $2 tithe to Phil and said, hail Phil, when you leave the house, do you have a minimum number of rounds you carry? Not really, no. As long as my gun's loaded, I'm usually happy. And, it's a revolver. So there's no such thing as, one mag is 0. No, it's a revolver. It's going to work. So as long as my gun's loaded, I'm okay. But I usually try to put 2 speed strips in my pocket if I don't forget. So that's, 12 more rounds. So I usually leave with 18. But it's not like, oh my God, I left and I've only got my gun. I got to go home and get the, no, there's no minimum for me. As long as my gun's loaded, I'm usually pretty comfortable. I'm not very tactical on that. Also, Sean Bain paid his $2 tithe to Phil and said, was thinking outside the box tonight. I don't think you were. I think you were thinking outside the topic, but not outside the box. That was an order from Johnny Mandrix. We got one more person weighing in here via the super chat. It is Kevin Payton. And he said, hail Phil, they missed the topic completely. If shit hit the fan, you will immediately need wet wipes before using your 270. Have been watching naked. Oh, I didn't need to know. Watching midget porn on your new TV. Okay, that changed. When I hit see more, that changed the question change that period topic completely, because when I first saw it says have been watching naked, and I was like, I didn't need to know that. What you do is your business. But then when I clicked see more, it says have been watching naked midget porn on your new TV ? Well, no, it's not hooked up yet. So no, I can honestly say no. I'm offended by the question, and no, I have not, because it's not hooked up yet. Plus, I can't watch porn in the house. Good Lord, I don't live alone. There's other people around. Plus, I'm not all that interested in porn anymore. To me, porn is like, oh, it's like a chores list. I don't want to have to do that. Let's see here. I think that's it for the super chats over there. Let's see if there's anything over here. It says Pigar chimed in and says, I love shit shows. Well, you're in the right place tonight. Eric M509 used his 14-month WAP chat to say, have you considered doing less chats per week, less than chat burnout maybe? Yes, I have. I have said that several times. And then every time I say we're going to go to 3 chats a week or 4 chats a week, people are like, oh, but I like to listen every day. I'm a shut-in and blah, blah, blah. And, I'm not mocking their situations, but I've realized there's people out there that this is a big part of their day. This and other chats, they go from chat to chat because, they don't get out. They don't talk to other people. This is their entertainment. This is their socialization, my chat and others. So I show up because, it's part of their day. And I kind of like doing it too. I just don't like it when I have to force it because no one is participating or they don't get the topic. When Peter DeBoner writes a question that's too convoluted, too complicated would be the question for my audience. My audience, you need to ask your question very succinctly, using as small words as possible. Because remember, they're here watching me, so they obviously aren't Einsteins because they think this is entertainment. So, yeah, he kind of overestimated everybody's ability today. That's one thing you can say about me. I will never overestimate your intelligence or my own. I know mine is failing me too. Which is sad because I used to be smart. I sit down sometimes and remember, oh yeah, I used to be smart. This used to not be a problem. What happened? I think the world passed me by. I don't know. I don't know much of anything nowadays. So it's sad. But that looks like that's it for all the super chats. Let me see if we got emails that I can share here. I think we got a couple. Present, share screen, Winder. Where'd they go? Here's one. This is from, I think it's from John Heasley. Is that who's from? Yeah, John Heasley sent a picture. He said, happy dog, Nala. Oh, look at that face. Oh, well, she's starting to get some gray on that muzzle. Turnip is too. It's sad. I'm like, you're just a baby. Well, you got a gray on your muzzle. You're just a baby. And another email coming here from Gummy Wuzzle. And he said, super fan. He's showing off his stuff here. Oh, that's a good bit of stuff, but you'd be surprised how much stuff other people have. Some people got a lot of shirts, a lot of magnets. I think John Heasley that has like all the magnets. But yeah, it's a good start. You got the prepared bear. You got the North American Armored Assault Possum. Save the 40s. And I did add you. Did you notice I added you to the list on the Save the 40s? Got your Mavis tumbler, your Phil shirt. None of this stuff down here's mine. So that you should have just blacked that out. So because now I'm offended. But it's a good start. That's for sure. That was Chrissy Jones, by the way, Gummy Wuzzle. Me and Chrissy Jones. What's that guy's name? Sings that. Is it Billy Paul? Billy Paul? Is that his name? I can't remember. Let me get over to this. I think that's all for the chats. Let me get over to the regular live chat here now. Where was I? There we are. 7. That's for the first part. Don't forget your emails. I shared the emails. What do you think of the cops shit show in Minnesota? The citizens found Vance and cops took the credit. I'm not surprised by any time the cops are incompetent, but I'm not really up on what happened. Like I said, I haven't really paid attention. You think I'd be paying closer attention, but it's been a stressful week. My sister wrecked the Prius. That's all it takes really to ruin my day, but just a lot of stuff. And had to teach myself how to use that damn laser engraver. And I think I looked at the laser too many times. I kept catching myself looking at it. Still think I see in spots on my left eye. But yeah. Did you see the Florida sheriff that protesters who spit on his officers would get a trip to the hospital and then jail? You think that's for a disease check? Or I think that guy needs to be taken out of office, because police should not be threatening citizens. Police, what they should say is, if you try to attack a police officer, you will be taken into custody and charged to the full extent of the law. Not, we will murder you, because you are not judge, jury, and executioner. You're not executioner, period, or judge or jury. So your job is to take people into custody without incident, if possible, not to forewarn that they will be murdered if they commit specific offenses. That is not within you just basically said that instead of doing my job, I'm just going to murder people who commit specific crimes, and you are not fit for duty, and he should be removed from office. And people that on the right that are cheerleading this guy, it never underestimates me how stupid people on the far right are when it comes to police. They just put blinders on and they don't give a shit. And it's going to be the only good thing about when they finally do crack down, if I'm still alive, is being able to laugh at the right wingers who are just in complete shock that their rights are being stripped away from them by a bunch of jackbooted police. They'll be in shock. And I'll be like, you're just retarded. I think that the 30-30 is underrated, particularly in a lever action rifle, like a Winchester. I think 30-30 is a great round. I don't underrate it. I like it. I mean, 30-06 is, better, more popular, but that is for the first. Buttercup said, shit hit the fan, 45 Colt in blackout convertible and rifle. I'd shoot black powder and cast bullets. So there's a point someone could have made in the black powder, stuff like that. Of course, that wouldn't have really been on topic either. That would have been, what are some non-cartridge loading firearms that people don't think about? A Florida Keys charter captain was just arrested for maliciously stabbing a shark that swam into his fishing line. This stabbing was not in self-defense. Well, good. I hope what they should do is they should stab him and throw him in the water. And if the sharks choose to have mercy on him, well, then good. If not, well, justice was served. I'm all right with that. The suspect in the Minnesota shooting, Vance Luther Bowler, was previously appointed to the governor's Workforce Development Council by Tim Walz in 2019. Yeah, we know that. I think that was something people already knew. He worked in like security or something. Why did the murderer have a bunch of no king signs in his vehicle? Maybe he was pulling them down if he had them in his vehicle. But I don't think he had them in his vehicle. I haven't seen anything that suggests that legitimately yet. So where did you get that information from? Planning on joining the protest? I don't think he had any plans on joining the protest. He was doing other things. And he might be someone that's very vehemently no kings, but he voted for Trump. And he's definitely anti-abortion, which is what this seems. And his little manifesto was mostly about abortion. Where are we at? What did I get this here? Ever decide an opinion on Bondi's DOJ amicus? Not yet, because I haven't read it. And like I said, it's an amicus brief. It ain't worth much. It don't mean anything. So it's like a press release almost. I'm not interested really that much. This is why I haven't paid attention to it. Sahara, I think he means Sarah Palin. Went to pro-choice rallies, also went to pro-life as well. Well, she's not in the public eye anymore, I don't think. I don't know where she'd be. Where is she? Is she back up in Wasilla? I don't know. I don't know where she's at. Although I don't know if I would think she's pro-choice. I bet she hasn't made a lot of pro-choice votes. It's probably just they were trying to win over those voters. Make them, if we could just make half of them think that we're not anti-choice. Totally can understand that. Just wondering if you get burnt out too, like mental health burnout. Oh God, yes, I'm horribly burnt out on YouTube. But it's mainly the gun rights fight that I'm burnt out on. I'm burnt out on YouTube too because YouTube fights me every step of the way. They actively try to delete me. They make it to where I will never succeed on YouTube. Well, I kind of did that too when I said fuck you to the industry and I didn't want to be a profiteer. Like GunWeb said the other night when they came to you and you made your decision, I made my decision that I don't want to be a part of this. From that forward, it was like, oh, you could have hung with the big boys and now you're not gonna because you want to expose the shit we do. That's disheartening, but YouTube actually making, because you can't fight YouTube when they decide to start taking your subs, taking your views, when they just say, hey, no one's gonna see your videos because we're not going to let anybody see your videos. That's bad. And that's discouraging. But lately I've been getting really discouraged for the pro-gun fight. Well, for one, because the courts and stuff aren't enforcing their own decisions and blah, blah, blah. But just the ignorance of the pro-gun people and the way they throw their support behind like law enforcement and everything out there, blind support behind politicians. It's just like, that's how you give your rights away very quickly. I would fully understand if you limited your day to 4 weeks. Well, I think most people would. Most people would understand that, but some people would be disappointed. So I don't do this for the masses. There's certain people I do things for, certain people I want to be available for, during the day. Give them a place to come, place to listen, for various reasons. So I do that. You can't skip chats. My cat watches. She would be extremely disappointed and would have to have words with Phil. Why else do you think Carr rolled into a tree? I know. That's what I said. I don't want to piss Phil off. He don't believe in days off. He doesn't get a day off. There's not a day where he just like sits the cosmic watermelon down and goes off, cruising for lady octopuses or male octopus. I don't know what he's into. I don't ask. I don't want to know. I don't even want to know how it works. But he don't do that. He don't take a day off. Yeah. These Florida sheriffs are talking tough because Governor Ron DeSantis is enabling them to be blowhards. He is the biggest bootlicker alive. Yeah, he is a huge bootlicker. He's also an idiot because he's telling people if you decide to run over protesters, you'll be fine. No, you'll go to jail. If you willingly run over anybody, you'll go to jail. It don't matter if they're jaywalking or anything. If you can be shown that you willingly ran someone over, you'll be charged with vehicular manslaughter if you kill them, and if you don't, you'll be charged with attempted vehicular manslaughter or vehicular murder, depending on which one it is. But if the goal isn't to kill them, that's different charges. But you'll be charged. He's an idiot. Don't listen to him. I don't trust any man who wears high heels. Pictures of his car had a lot of guns. I don't know that those are pictures of his car, to be honest. So I don't know yet. I haven't seen those from like a trusted source or anything yet. I've seen, and when I was Googling pictures that were supposedly, here's what's inside his car. Oh, one car was a red Toyota Corolla. Other one was a old Caprice Classic wagon. And I'm like, these aren't even the same cars. So who are you supposed to believe? I know there is a type of far right winger that strongly believe in accelerationist policies to achieve anarcho-primitive utopia. I forget what they are called. I don't know what they're called. Sarah Palin's stupid brother-in-law shot a moose in violation of Alaska state law while he was a state trooper. Don't surprise me. How long would it take to purge every assault weapon in the U.S.? Well, forever, because you wouldn't be able to do it. Just like they weren't able to do it in Australia. It's like, well, they got like 17% compliance on turning the guns in when they were illegal. You'd have, I think, less compliance here. Minnesota Vance has 3 AKs and 9mm in his car. Like I said, I don't know yet because I haven't seen any credible like stories of this is definitely his car. This has been entered into evidence in the case and blah, blah, blah. I'll have to wait till I can make any decisions on that stuff. Sounds like watching porn isn't working out for you. It works out for me fine. I don't mind not watching porn. It's not like I'm aching to see some porn. But we're out of questions over here. Let me make sure we're still caught up on the super chats. We got Kevin Payton did a $2 tithe to Phil and said, next easy topic, how many crayons in the kitty box? All Marines need not respond. Well, Marines answer would be like, there's no crayons left in the kitty box because they got hungry. So that looks like that's it over there. And make sure we're caught up on everything over here. We are. I don't think we ended up with a half hour for the chat, but I think it'll be close enough. But we are all out of questions. I don't see anything in the live chat. There's no new emails. I got no super chats. So we are done. So I just want to say thanks to everybody. What's this? I bet the shooter has never drunk a Duff in his life. Well, I don't know if Duff's real. I don't think. Tracy Morgan says he gained 40 pounds on Ozempic after he learned how to out-eat the drug. Yeah, well, it's a joke. They are called Adam Waffen Division. Okay. I'll take your word for it. I'm not going to look it up. It's not one of those things I need to know, I guess. But thanks, everybody, for coming. I appreciate it. Everybody who chimed in the conversation kept... Django's starting. Django! Calm down. Django! Calm down. He's not going. I think my son's home. But like I said, thanks everybody for participating, especially people who got involved in the donations to pets and vets, etc. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe. I'll see you again. Woof, woof. Hey everybody, Yankee here. Before we go, I just want to take a second to remind everyone that this channel is 100% viewer funded. We don't take a penny from advertisers, retailers. We don't take money from political organizations. There's no one telling me what I need to tell you. Everything that we do is done through the generosity of our viewers, either buying merchandise or becoming a patron or a Subscribe Star member. You're all the ones that support Pets and Vets and TYMPP. And that's the reason I can stay true to myself and loyal only to the people who watch my channel. And I can spend my time talking about what I want to talk about, telling what I think needs to be said, and giving you my uncensored take on things I think you need to hear. So if you'd like to help keep things that way, please support the channel by becoming a patron, a Subscribe Star supporter, or just going over to my web store and buying some merch. The links are all in the upper corner of this video.